It was 2013 and I just graduated from university. I wanted to change the world. I wanted to build a company. I'd just seen the movie The Social Network and it was incredibly inspiring to me. It laid out the blueprints of how to build a successful startup. It almost seemed too easy. So I set out to build my very first app. It was designed to revolutionize the way we met up with friends, making it easier to meet with the people we really cared about. I was very excited. So I followed the traditional path to build a startup. Team up with a few friends, get some investment, and work really hard until I made it. Within months, we had a demo. We were ready for investors. We applied to Y Combinator, the prestigious investor program that transforms startups like Airbnb into giants. And we actually got an email from them. They said they were reviewing our application. This was incredible. After months of hard work, we were so close to the first step to success. But a day later, they sent us another email. It was a no. It felt like we had slammed into a brick wall. I still remember that day. But fortunately, we were also through to the final round of another investor program. So we really gave it everything this time. It was our final shot. One of our co-founders even flew in for the pitch. But it was another no. And we watched as inferior products impressed investors more than ours. How could this have been? We did everything we were supposed to. We found an amazing team, built an incredible product, just needed some investment, but no one would help us. We'd have given ourselves up for this and failed. You see, there's a dark side to the startup world that we often don't talk about. For every Airbnb success story, there are thousands of brilliant founders who've lost their health, relationships, and savings chasing the very same dream. Smart, driven individuals who've invested years of their lives for seemingly nothing. But what if there was another way? What if you could be rich and be you? Eventually, our team fell apart, but that rejection was probably the best thing that ever happened to us. Had we succeeded, we would have stepped onto an uncontrollable treadmill, given away equity, hired fast, spent even more money, raised more money, given away more equity, and repeated until either we hit a mystical billion-dollar valuation or collapsed under pressure. According to Startup Genome, 90% of typical startups fail. The odds just aren't in your favor. Don't get me wrong, there is a place for the typical startup model, but it's not the only way to build a company. So a few failures later, I chose a different path. No investment, just me and an idea. The result was tinyhost.com. Drag and drop any file to get a shareable link in seconds. Thousands today use it daily to share everything from their resume to websites they've built. But there were three key things in this journey that actually made it a success. First, I chose a simple idea. I wanted to make it easier to share files online. It wasn't revolutionary, but it was a problem that I personally had. Second, after my failures, I learned that marketing, not just building a product, would make or break this business. So I set myself a time limit of 1 month to build a simple version and then spend the rest of the time marketing the product. I tried everything from making YouTube videos to shamelessly posting all over social media until I found a single channel that really worked. Search engine optimization, also known as SEO. And finally, I stumbled upon community. I discovered a group of entrepreneurs who measured success and built companies differently. They were called Indie Beers in London. They were my inspiration early on, my mentor network, and now some of my best friends. Most problems you think are difficult are already solved by somebody else. You just have to ask the right people. Today, TinyHost has over 500,000 users across the world, and I'm not the only company built this way. Thousands of founders are quietly building six-figure businesses. Companies like Transistor FM, Fathom Analytics, and Tally, they're all bootstrapped, profitable, and chosen a different path. The resources for entrepreneurs today are incredible. Online communities, proven playbooks, and AI tools. It's never been easier to build a company on your own terms. It's more commonly known as bootstrapping, where you don't need to convince anybody about your idea. You focus on building the company that you want rather than convincing investors. You work at your own pace without sacrificing anything else. You keep ownership of your company and choose your direction. Make it into a lifestyle business or turn it into a potential unicorn one day. It's your choice. You see, we've been sold that being rich means having millions in the bank and luxury cars. But I've discovered a different kind of wealth on this journey. Freedom with my time, authenticity in decisions, and true ownership of the journey. I can work when and where I want, build a business based on conviction rather than investor pressure, and know that every decision I make for the product reflects my own true values and what customers want. And so today, I want to encourage you to think about building a business differently. But keep in mind three important components. Start with a small problem. Some of the best businesses haven't come from reinventing the wheel. They've come from making that wheel smoother, simpler, and more accessible. Learn how to market. Today, there are more products than ever competing for our attention. It's not enough to just build something great and expect people to use it. You really have to shout about it and tell everybody. And finally, find a community, your support network. It's so important in our increasing digital world to connect with real people. It'll make the journey a lot easier and more fun. You can chase other people's definition of success, or you can write your own rules and become wealthier in ways that money can't measure. The choice is yours. And remember that you can build a successful company on your own terms while staying true to yourself. Because I did. Thank you.